What's up YouTube, EasyGoingMC back with another episode of EasyGoing Survival. I think we're on, episode 22 now? 22? And we're going to be doing some more redstone work today. Actually, I don't know, today's not too much redstone. Today is more of it's a unique farm. We're building a Wither Rose farm today. I think it's going to be fairly awesome. Let's get into it. So in the last episode, we built the monstrosity right here. Not really a monstrosity, I would say, but yeah, we built the charcoal smelter slash tree farm. Works pretty well. We need to get some fuel, and yeah, this definitely is going to work fairly well. Also, it's just cool to have a bit of a tree farm as well as a charcoal farm. Definitely happy about that. We do have a few modifications we need to make, and I think we'll do that later in the episode, but I guess we can go over them now. So the first thing we need to do is we need to add, I don't mind that lever being there, but we need to add the input also on this side, a way to access it, so I'm able to turn or close the door when I'm AFKing. I'd also like to build up the AFK spot a little bit more, just to make it a little bit nicer and easier to get in. And then the last thing I would like to do is I would like to add a way to turn the smelter off. Like, say I don't want the smelt any more wood and I just want to get the wood. I think we can do that by adding, some kind of hopper chain. So yeah, that's kind of the changes we need to build and make to this farm. I'm going to do those right now. I'm actually also going to add some stuff on details up here, and those can be some of the changes we do make to make this thing work. Alright guys, so we're back and I've completed those tasks with relative ease. I'll show you from, I guess, the last one I did until the first one I did, which was the roof. So we take a look at this. The system I developed to switch off, this was actually very basic. I just decided to put levers here. So say I want half the charcoal or even three quarters, or say what I mean, I just want like a certain amount of charcoal, then I can just basically declare how many furnaces I actually want going at a given time, of course, and then I can move on from there. So that's basically how I'm going to solve that. I think that's definitely a good way to go. It's easy, it's fast to turn on and off, and it's also flexible, so I think it's a win-win on that front. I've also added in a button to get in and out of this door. As you can see, it's relatively quick. Didn't put a pulse extender in, it's not necessary, but essentially the way it works is we have some redstone lines running underneath to a torch tower, which we can see right back there. And yep, pretty simple, all hidden away. And now we have a safe door to enter. And then probably the biggest thing I did in that break was the smokestacks and the stuff on top. We can get a really good look from up here on the pumpkin farm. If we take a look, I put in that little ring thing. I put in like a smaller little AC unit type of thing. But I think the coolest thing is definitely the smokestacks. We just look at this from down below. It's just like, whoa, just a behemoth smoking some charcoal. It's really cool. I'm really happy with how this build turned out. Anyways, guys, as I said in the beginning of the episode, we have other plans for today, and that is, of course, a Wither Rose farm. So I need the Wither Roses in order to build a Wither Skeleton farm, because I really just want to build one of those. I've never successfully built a decent one, and I really want to do that, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. We'll build a pretty decent design by Rayworks with the piglin, so I'm definitely excited to look into that. But in order to do that, we need Wither Roses, and we could get them a really easy way, but I think it'd be more fun just to build an automatic farm, so we have infinite of them, an infinite amount for any projects we might need. So yeah, let's get going. I'm going to gather the materials we need for that, and we can head over to the end dimension. We've experienced a bit of a change of plans. As you can see, we're not in my world anymore. This is a Nembon world download that I found that we're actually going to use to create, we're going to build this Wither Skeleton farm, actually. It hopefully will work fairly well. We're going to make a few modifications, just to be clear. But yeah, so this farm, I had to think, I don't know. The issue with the Wither Skeleton farm is that they changed mob spawning frequency in the Soul Sand Valleys and Warp Forest, so it's really not worth it to build a farm there. I'd rather just go big out and build a perimeter, rather than, have to build the farm itself. I think that'd be a lot more fun, and it would yield a much better result, to say. Basically, this will be a huge project, multi-episode. This will take a while, a lot of man hours. We'll have to go into this. It's going to require a huge amount of materials, and beyond that, it's also just going to require a ton of effort to create the perimeter and also just build the farm itself. So do bear with me on that, but I think the results should be pretty good. This is a 1 hour haul of the farm, as you can see, so we're getting tons of resources beyond just the beyond the initial things. We're getting almost 3 stacks of wither skeleton skulls in an hour, so definitely worth it. So yeah, we're gonna build this. I guess I have the material list. We should probably just start gathering materials. It's probably gonna take a while. We might be able to get a little work done on the farm today. But yeah, the main change we're gonna make is we're only gonna build these 3 layers. We're not gonna worry about the top 2 layers, just because yeah, we don't actually need to worry about this, and the reason is because they're going to change this so mobs won't be able to spawn on these 2 layers in a future release. So we'll just worry about the bottom 3. Still should work fairly well. I'm not too concerned. And yeah, I guess we should get into it. 45 minutes has passed, and I've made some significant progress on the resource front. So if we take a look and pull these guys out, we've gathered up almost everything. So we're almost there. The only things left after I show you is we need to craft 16 beds. So I'm going to go to the mob farm to make wool and then craft those. I need 4.5 stacks of glazed terracotta, which we have the terracotta for. We just need to smelt it, and then we're also going to dye it red. We'll make red glazed terracotta. And then we need 17 stacks of glass, as well as 1 cobweb, and we're also going to dye that glass red. The build palette's going to be red, anything we can dye, then blackstone for the minuscule building blocks. A lot of this farm is ice and leaves. We have lots of ice. So excluding this shulker box, this one's not part of it. This is the materials we had to gather. So yeah, all the items you see here, we do have a little bit of excess of each. I am keeping in mind that I don't necessarily need everything from here, if that makes sense, because we are building a slightly less, but that means we'll have an extra, which is fine by me. So far, so good. We're looking good on the resource front. We'll obviously have to get those last resources, and obviously we'll make the perimeter. We're going to go through quite a few slabs, so that's something to keep in mind as well. But anyways, I'm going to get the last of those resources, and we can sort of go from there, I guess. Lots of smelting later, and we have... yeah, we got everything. So we got a bunch of glass, way more than we need. We got our 5 stacks of glazed terracotta. I also forgot I do need some nether bricks. I'm not sure how many. I think the majority of them come from the top layers, but yeah, I don't know. I got this much. I hope that's enough. I can always get more. I have plenty of netherrack. I smelted up. It's about 2 shulker boxes worth of netherrack smelted in the nether bricks as an FYI. Then we also got terracotta and things like that, and then of course we also got the cobwebs, so we can put that in here, and that's one of the miscellaneous sections. And then yeah, these are all the items we have for the farm. Cool. And we'll bring some empty shulkers to assist with the process, of course, and we have those right here, and we can just get all of these guys in our inventory, and we can just mine this up, put these back, there we go, and then all of this, yeah, can just go into here. Yeah, that was relatively smooth, to be honest. Didn't take too long. I mean, the smelting took quite a while since we don't have the fastest smelter, but besides that, that was a pretty smooth process. Got everything. That was way easier than I expected to be, not gonna lie. Anyhow, coming up next is, of course, we gotta find a suitable location for this farm. Since we are gonna create perfect perimeter conditions, we're looking for a nether fortress. I don't really care about the biome, to be honest, at this point. That's over a lava lake. So that basically means that where there's lava, we don't have to smelt or to slab the area. So we want to find a nice, I'm pretty sure it takes place in a crossroad, but a nice nether fortress in a crossroad that just is, yeah, in a perfect location for our uses. Alright guys, I'm going to crank that out. I'm going to use the seed in the creative world in order to figure that out. So yeah, I'll see you guys once I've, determined that. Alright guys, we're back and we're in a creative world of the seed, and I've determined the best location, within 2,500 blocks. This farm is at negative 1,500, negative 1,000, so it's about 2,500 blocks away from our base. It's the best I could do. I feel like if we go farther, it's just not going to be worth it. And this is the best one I found, and I looked at approximately 25 fortresses, so I'm fairly happy with this. If we take a look around, we have a mini HUD mod installed, so the green basically is marking where we have to spawn proof. So we have to spawn proof most of the fortress, obviously. And then basically all of the land that you see here, we're going to have to spawn proof. So Like these blocks right here, yeah, have to be spawn proofed, etc., etc. That looks funky. That's wild. That looks really trippy over there. So basically, the slab this whole thing and/or lava, I'll probably opt the slab just because, you know, not going to be flying around. It makes it a pain, the lava in survival mode. So just going to slab all of this, going to bite the bullet on that one. The good news is, however, we are going to have, you know, it is only like one layer really of terrain. There's not like multiple layers in a lot of spots. So hopefully it doesn't take like ridiculously long. It'll take a few hours, but nothing insane, like nothing not unmanageable. So I'm not too worried. Plus, I think I'll leave the Warp Forest alone and just see what kind of rapes we get and just do it to the Crimson Forest. The start, just because the Warp Forest is, you know, reduced mob spawning, but we'll do all of the Crimson for sure. Anyways, guys, that's what it brings us now to the point where I'm going to want us to get us over to the farm. So I'm going to take notes of these exact chords so I know the exact intersection we're going to build the farm in, and then we can actually start constructing it. So I'm going to get over here, I'm going to figure out sort of exactly where we're going to actually go via bedrock, and then I'm going to break some bedrock in the ceiling to get down to the farm area. So yeah, it should be fairly awesome. It's now the next day, and I have finished doing some work over at the farm. So this is the area we're actually going to build it in. This is the same place. That's the crossroads I was talking about. And I am noticing there are definitely increased spawns in the fortress itself. And I've realized when I did this is a little cheaty, but I don't really care. I just slash killed Enderman because I was curious how much of the mob cap they were taking up, and they only were taking up about 9 at the time. So the farm might still be kind of efficient, even if we don't slab the entire Warp Forest. So I mean, we'll see how efficient it is. If it's like way under what it should be, then I'll probably go ahead and just slab it. But if not, I mean, if it's still producing tons of stuff, there's no need to really. So I guess we'll consider that as we move forward. But for now, I think what we're going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and begin constructing the farm. So I'll probably start with the spawning pads. That seems like it's the easiest way. And I should just, go from there. Alright, so I've put in the first packed ice layer. It's really not too bad working. The mob cat gets filled up in other parts of the fortress, so it's just, it's not too bad. It's a little bit slow moving, but, you know, I'm getting the hang of the build still, so I have the world download up on my other computer. There's actually not a block by block tutorial for this. So, yeah, that's the way it is. Anyhow, I decided to bring all my stuff up here so I can just continue the work on the farm. So I think I'm going to build each layer, including, looks like the flying machines as well. So I'll basically just do everything I need to do every single time per layer. And I think that should work fairly well, I believe. Yeah, cool. Alright, so I'm going to keep working on this, guys, and I'll be back in a little bit. Boy, oh boy, this is even more tedious than I expected, but you know what, it's kind of fun. I enjoy the process of tediously building this farm. We've built the first layer now, as you guys can see right here. It should work fairly well. It should function at this point in time. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next layer now, and then, we'll just keep on building. I'm going to build the bottom layer next, I think, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, finished the bottom layer, went a little smoother. I did accidentally flip the side I was on though, so I had to redo this middle strip right here. But other than that, it went smoothly. It was a lot easier to build than the last time, so hopefully the top layer goes even better. But yeah, after we finish this, there's not a ton left of the farm. We can actually go take a look. Because we're only building the 3 layers. Since the reason why is because this farm, as we'll see, the top 2 layers require it's a mechanic that's currently in the game, where there's an overall bounding box that's bigger. So they have the bounding box around the platform, which is where the packed ice is, and that's where it doesn't matter what the block is, any mob in the fortress can spawn in it. As you can see, there's wither skeletons and stuff spawning in there. However, outside of the smaller bounding box, around the specific crossroad that this is in, you have the overall bounding box of the fortress, which we cannot see right now. But in those bounding boxes, you can actually put nether brick, and the mobs are able, any fortress mobs can spawn as long as it's nether brick in the overarching area, which is why these top 2 layers are here. However, the developers actually removed this accidentally in 1.16, but then they came and said they reverted that change. However, they said that this was a change that would be happening in the future, so future proofing, there's no point to do this extra work if it's going to break in a future update. So I'm just going to skip these top 2 layers. I think it'll still be plenty fast. This is probably, I would say, 60% to 75% of the spawning spaces of the farm, since these floors are slightly smaller. But given that, after we finish the top layer, what we have left is this section down here. I will have to go back to get some beds at some point, as well as more fire res. I did forget to grab the beds, I just realized. So we'll have to do this section down here, and then we have to do the redstone circuit, as well as this torch tower going up. I've already put in this part. So that's sort of what's left, is this bit of redstone plus this bottom, like the funneler down to this tube, and then of course we have to do this whole area down below with the super fast droppers and things like that. It's gonna be, yeah, a little tedious, but we're getting there. We're getting closer to being complete on the farm itself, and then obviously we have to do all the spawn proofing. But I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna finish the top layer as well as go back and get all the beds, and I'll be back, guys, after I've completed that task. Alright guys, we're back, and as you can see, I finished up the top layer. Can't really see it. I also put a glass roof on. I went back, I brewed up some more fire-resistant potions, which should be pretty useful. And now I'm working on the bottom area. This is definitely going to be the most tedious part of this, so I'm not going to do any cuts. I just need to concentrate and get this done. So yeah, I'll meet you guys once I finish this funnel area type thing. Oh my god, guys. That was tough. I'm not going to lie, that was probably the most tedious part of the build. I don't know, it's just like trying to build under, it's crammed down here. Yeah, it just was not fun at all, in the slightest. However, we have finally finished. We just need to do one more thing, that is, to finish it. Oh, dang it. I'll be back. As I was saying, the last thing we need to do is just placing the string right there. Okay, so we got our 2 pieces of string. This thing is technically ready to go. We just need to put the drop chute in, and then technically we can use the farm at that point. I'll probably give it a test after I create the drop chute, just to, you know, see how it works overall. Anyhow, yeah, I'm going to work on the drop chute, create the killing area. We'll do the redstone for the storage system. After we give it a preliminary test, just make sure mobs are coming down correctly. Probably go up in spectator mode, make sure everything's working alright. You know how it goes. So I'm going to do that, guys. I'll be back in a sec. Alright guys, we're back. I'm ready to finally test the farm. I've done a few tests. I had to repair some errors, but the farm is now technically working. It's on. You can see all those flying machines going, and mobs are actually dropping in, so we are able just to kill these guys now. That's pretty cool. Obviously, it's extremely inefficient, and we don't have, like, the storage system set up, but technically this is a working, functional farm. I could farm items, but the rates are going to be, yeah, ridiculously slow. I think we should just go up there and spectator, just make sure. I only use spectator to take a look. So there is a pigman there. I don't know how he got there. Somehow he must have spawned in somewhere. I'll figure that out. These are looking good. These are looking good. These down here are working. These pistons are working. A blaze just went down. Okay, cool. The farm's working. We can power it off and continue to work. There's actually some mobs in there, believe it or not. Yeah, cool. So, yeah, we can just come up here and swing them away. Obviously, the rates of this thing are going to greatly improve as the time goes, but that's what it is for right now. Alright, guys. I think that's actually going to wrap it up for today. Yeah, we built this monstrosity of a farm. I'm pretty happy with that. In the next episode, I think we'll finish it up. So we'll do the storage area, the item collection, and then create the perimeter. I just feel like, I don't know, I should break this thing up into 2 episodes, I think, because we still have a lot more work to do. Anyways, guys, once again, have an easygoing day, and I'll catch you all later. The reason why I'm doing this outro quick is because, yeah, I'm just going to start the next episode right away.